Welcome to the Fall River Mayoral Debate. I'm Michael Sylvia, one of the publishers at Fall River Reporter, and I'll be your moderator tonight. Please silence your cell phones, or we'll put the camera on you. This broadcast would not be possible without our partners at Fall River Community Media and Fall River Government TV. So I'd like to thank, first from Fall River Community Media, Keith Tebow, Steve Rice, Michelle Dumas, and Lucy Cabral. From Fall River Government TV, Alex Mello, Michael Ferreira, and Craig Salvador. This is how we're bringing the debate to people watching at home on TV or on the internet on Fall Reporter's Facebook page. I'd also like to thank Stephen Richard for helping to bring the debate to the live viewers at home. The real heroes of the night are Jordan Sylvia from Fiorentina Italian Kitchen, Scotty Lopes from Scotty's Pub, and Mike Ferreira of Avos Feast for providing the food to this event. Thanks to the staff at the Liberal Club for being generous hosts. They do have a bar behind us that you can get your drinks if you need to. Food is free. Continue to grab throughout the night. I put a trash can in the back. You can put your trash there. Finally, let me introduce the candidates for tonight's debate. Incumbent Mayor Paul Coogan, Gabriel Boomer Amaral, and Carlos Caesar. Finally, I'd like to thank the voters for tuning in. You have an important task of electing your next mayor. By tuning in, you have shown that you are taking this responsibility seriously, and I really appreciate everyone coming in and filling the room tonight. Now on to the debate while we're here. So here are the rules. We'll have 2-minute opening statement by each candidate. Then I'll ask a series of questions until we run out of time. Each candidate will have up to 90 seconds to answer, and then a 30-second rebuttal. I will cycle through the candidates from left to right. The starting point will rotate throughout the evening. I don't want to distract from the candidates with time reminders. When I say time to the candidates, please wrap it up. We'll end with closing statements. We did a random drawing, and Mayor Coogan is the first to do the opening statement. And afterwards, in the closing statement, we'll start with Boomer Amaral and go reverse direction to keep it fair. So Mayor Coogan.
Good evening, everybody. I want to thank Fall River Reporter, the Liberal Club, and FRG TV for hosting this event. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty well known. I'm a 3-term incumbent mayor in the city of Fall River. I was elected in a number of tough races. I've tried to bring stability, economic sense, openness to government center, and I consider myself to be a working mayor who is out and about in the community as much as possible. I try to get around. I talk to people. I'm very familiar to everybody at the Liberal Club, and I really appreciate everybody coming out tonight, but I really would like to get to the questions first, so I'll defer to my my rivals to the left, Mr. Caesar.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for coming, and thank you for everybody that made this this event possible. Well, for introduction, I think I'm a familiar face with this city. I'm being around for 3 decades, trying my best to be a good citizen, a good resident, and a good taxpayer of this city. But I think I'm at the end of my line. I think it's time, and I'm getting called for duty. That's how I feel. Why? Number one, the budget. The budget increased from $272 million to $452 million in 5 years is the first reason that I'm running. And since day one, I said that I'm running because I won the forensic audit. More reasons why I'm running. Understaffed police department, understaffed fire department, $2 million short on the health department, $3 million short on the trash. Our schools are failing. And affordable housing, it's still a big issue. we still spending millions of dollars with no solution. But one thing I have to give to this administration, the richer on this city is getting richer, and the poor is getting poor, thanks to TIFs. So I have to give the administration that, and I will have more time during tonight to pick some more issues. So I pass on to Mr. Mayoral.
Okay, Mr. Amaral?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. This is what we should see every day. I wish we could see this at city council meetings and school committee meetings every day, because we'd have a lot less drama and nonsense and get things done. So I appreciate you all for being here, no matter who you support. Thank you. Like most of you, I was born and raised here. This is home. I love this city. I hate this city, but I love this city, right? We all have our good and bad with everything. But when you look at it, we're all just trying to survive. We're all trying to make it through. We're all trying to make it better for the next generation. I'm a single dad of 6 children. My kids grow up here. They grow up on these streets here. They grow up in the schools here. They work here. You know, we're all just trying to do the best we can. And no matter how much we try, somebody just keeps making it so we can't. We're never gonna get ahead. You're just not those people. You're not the one. And I think it's about time that the rest of the city is heard. I think it's about time that the whole city is represented, and that's why I want to be your next mayor. We need to do it right. This is our last chance. There are too many big things coming. You know, that's it. The waterfront, gone. Once this is all gone, once they're all done, they're all gone. We're going to be stuck fronting the bill. Market rate housing, all of it. It's everything that's taken over is not making our city better. We got to fix it now. Because if we don't, you're never going to be able to afford it again. So, vote for me.
Okay, let's move on to the question part of the debate tonight. So first thing, priorities. Voters want to feel their priorities are your priority. If you win in November, what is your top priority for 2026 and how will you get it done? And this goes to Carlos Caesar.
Sure. So my priorities, public safety, education. We have to full fund it, those departments. So I said, and I keep repeating the same thing. If my priority is the public safety and the crime and the education, those should be the first people on the table to get full funded when we are talking about or spending money from our budget. Because at the end of the day, when the budget is done, if I don't have money to pay an assistant of assistant of the assistant of the assistant, when the job could be done with 1 full-time and we paying 1 full-time and 5 part-times, makes no sense. So if it's no money left, then that person's gonna have to look for a job. And believe me, people, the second question is, oh, you want to full fund it, where's the money? The money's on the budget. The money's right on the budget. In 5 years, $240 million more. It's a lot of money on that budget. The problem is, where's the money? And that's when the forensic order is going to do for us. It's going to fund all those accounts that in 24 hours appears from nowhere, $1.5 million in 24 hours. That's the accounts that we're going to fund. So that's my priorities, and that's what we're going to fund the money. And believe me, besides the budget, we need to bring new revenue to the city.
Okay, time. Okay, Mr. Amaral.
I don't think I have a top priority. I think everything is a priority. Education, public safety, you know, all the corruption, it's all a priority. How do you put one above the other? However, it all runs off the budget. So if we can't fix the budget, we can't fund any of it. We can't deal with public safety. We can't deal with, you know, the police department is fully funded. It's not a money problem there, right? It's not a money problem. Fire department does need new help, and I have the answers of where the money is going to come from for them. So That'll be taken care of. That is a top priority, absolutely, because without public safety, what are we doing with all these new units, bringing all these people in and doing all the stuff that doesn't pay taxes? We can't take care of what we have now. We have a tragedy in the city now, and we couldn't, deal with it to the best of our capabilities. They did everything they could, but they're still understaffed. But don't worry, we'll throw money at it after the fact. We're reactive, that's what we do. So for me, dealing with the budget, going through the budget, the forensic audit, we all want it. Well, everybody but the current administration. We all want it because we want to know where the money goes. He knows where it goes. So for me, you got to find the money. We got to take care of it. But there's money in there, and I have the answers. I have them here. I'm working networking. I'm working with big businesses and bringing things in. I'm working on bringing down trash costs and transportation costs. I have those answers. I'm talking to these people. I'm out there doing that work already that the mayor should have been doing for the last 6 years. And if he had the answers, we wouldn't be here 6 years later looking for new ones. So,
Time.
thank you.
Mr. Coogan.
Obviously, when you're running a city, there's a number of priorities, and they all are very, very important. Infrastructure, public safety, education. You almost like to not say them in any particular order because then people think that that's where your values are. Public safety is always a priority. We've consistently, through ARPA and through bonding, we've floated a number of funds to our fire department, EMS, police department. I'm pretty sure those people know that when they need a car, they need a truck, they need additional men. I think because of the changes in the civil service law this year and working with our two chiefs, I think we're going to have fully staffed departments on police and fire. Obviously, it's been extremely difficult to recruit policemen. Firemen are a little easier. There's still a list. But as far as the police go, that's been difficult. Education is the key to success for any city. A better educated population that can read and understand numbers is what we want for everybody. So we have focused consistently on education. And the Student Opportunity Act has pumped a ton of money into the schools over the last 5 years. When Mr. Caesar talks about the increase in the budget, he fails to tell you that almost all of it is education money that's been given to us by the state. And I'm sure by the end of the night, Mr. Caesar can tell me who the assistant to the assistant to the assistant to the assistant is, so that we can go in there tomorrow morning and remove that person from his job. Because I've never met him. He's in the building or he's out and about, and I'm sure he's doing something. But at the same time, we do not want those people floating through the buildings. And appreciate it.
Okay, now we move to rebuttals. Mr. Caesar.
Well, my question for you is, what department you want to start? Okay, depend what department you want to start. The department usually lately that I'm being going is to elections. I see 5 people there. Half of the people today vote compared to 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, we had 2 employees, a part-time and a full-time on that department. So let's start from that one.
Okay, Mr. Emerald, 30 seconds.
He speaks on education. Audit, DESE, didn't do their job. Sexual assaults, rampant. Establishment, understanding, didn't send reports, didn't file reports. Reports. We are the orange, supposed to be at the blue, failing. Every school in here -2 in our cities, failing. RPA doesn't even have information, okay, because we just throw those kids there to throw them away. However, our beloved Durfee, bottom 10%, okay? Yes, we have these great buildings and these great schools that we're paying for.
Okay, Mr. Coogan, final rebuttal.
Okay, just so elections, what's happened in elections is vote by mail, extended voting. They need more people. Traditionally, elections were all held on one day. Now they go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. We mailed out 4,800 ballots to people that requested them for the preliminary election. So there's a ton more work than there ever used to be in elections. And as far as the data that Mr. Amaril's talking about, sure, he's showing MCAS data. I would love for him to be able to document sexual assaults rampant. I know he had a personal issue, but at the same time, we do a good job with our kids, and we take care of them, and I'm confident that we can straighten out any problems in our schools, working with the school committee and our current superintendent.
Time. Okay, moving to the next question, and we will be starting with Mr. Amaral. The average rent in Fall River in 2010 was $1,083. The rent in 2020 was $1,473. The rent in July of 2025 is $2,126. So rents have doubled in the past 15 years, but incomes have not. So please provide us your plan to stabilize rents.
Well, I believe it was the mayor that said market rate housing is going to be long-term best for what's best for the city. He said it live. I have those same numbers, right? I have the rental market. We're paying more than Newport's paying. We're paying more than the Cape is paying. And those are just travel places. Zoning laws, we can go through them. They're trying to get rid of it. My goal is to simply help the homeowner. You have the extra land, you deserve to get it. I don't need another 100-unit building that doesn't pay taxes because his friends that donate to him get TIFs. We don't need it. Those units do not pay taxes. Those people coming in do not pay taxes. They get the breaks on parking. Now they're making parking tough for everybody else. They're utilizing the schools. We can't afford the teachers. Already we don't have enough teachers. We can't afford to keep growing if we can't take care of what we already have. Your property, your 3-family home, your single-family home that has a yard, you know what? You put up another house in your property or another single unit, another ADU in your unit, in your property, that property pays taxes. His $20 million jobs and $80 million jobs that pay them hundreds of $millions, guess what? They don't pay taxes. Not a single renter is paying you taxes. The only people making money off of that are the city when they sell the building for pennies to their friends and that investor. And I'm not against the investors. I want you to invest, but you got to find another way because market rate housing is not going to be the answer here.
Mr. Coogan?
Well, again, this is going to be a long night, I guess. Our schools, when we enroll more students, we're reimbursed per pupil. That's how the funding comes to us from the state. We want to grow our schools. I was at the Pace Center yesterday, and there was a number of students still enrolling in our schools. Rents in Fall River, compared to other communities in Bristol County, are at or below the average. Are they too high? Absolutely. The goal if you build enough apartments in a city, then the rents should come down. The reason rents are so high is because there's a shortage of units. I don't know what Mr. Mayoral's talking about. If you go by the King Philip Mill and Alden Street, there are so many military people coming off of Quidnick Island because they cannot afford the rents down there. So Fall River is welcoming them to bring their money to our community, support our restaurants, our stores, and go around and pay their taxes on their vehicles. We want people moving to Fall River. We don't want to put up a no entry sign. The more you build, it's going to be all along the waterfront, the more it should take the strain off the traditional 2 and 3 families in all of our communities throughout the city, and hopefully lower the rent. That's how rents work. That's why we're in this predicament we're in right now. There is not enough housing. The more we build, the more it should have an impact on the cost. And I've seen rents starting to come down a little bit. I believe that there is more apartments available, but we need to build more. Look across the street at the King Philip Mill. It was a toxic waste site. Now it hosts probably 100 families. Thank you.
Mr. Caesar?
Well, the problem is when they want to sell us this beautiful project, they compare us residents with residents that make $150,000. That's the problem, because they building this housing. Fall River cannot afford a $2,000 rent, period. So why are we bringing market rate housing, which it's no study. I didn't saw a study yet to see how many was built and how many they're planning to build. What they talking to you all the time is, we built 10 affordable housing. Yeah, but how many market rate housing did you build? 100 to give us 10 affordable housings? The numbers are not working for us. The way we're going, it's not working for us. And just going to keep growing. The problem just going to keep growing. We need to stop. We need to take care of the people, the residents first. Yes, I want the others to move into our city. But we have to have a good city for them to move in first. And second of all, I need to take care of us first. We have people that have the houses paid for because the parents worked all their lives to leave a house for the kids, for the son, and the son has to sell the house because he cannot afford to live in Fall River with a paid house, just on tax and water, and more.
Okay, now we'll move to rebuttals. Mr. Amaral.
I don't understand where he's getting his information from. I do real estate every day, and I'm pretty successful at it. So when I look at rental units going up every day, there's tons of them that people can't afford to rent, and people ask us to rent them. So that is my job. That's literally what I do for a living. You give it away to your friends. I do it on the ground. I deal with these people who can't afford their rents. I deal with the people who are moving here, who need the help, need the assistance, apply for Section 8. I teach them how to do that to help the people. You don't. So please don't question my ability on understanding housing and how it works.
Mr. Coogan.
Well, our vacancy rate is around 2%, so I'm not sure where Mr. Amaral's getting that from. Absolutely, when you build property in the city of Fall River, you create jobs. You have plumbers working, electricians, asphalt, plastering. This is how you drive an economy. We need to keep construction jobs in our city. We want people working here, living here, and enjoying entertainment here. There is so much more going on. But while we're at it, right now we're building 58 units of affordability in the city of Fall River. We've increased subsidies in our housing department with the Moving On program. And we're presently buying 24 units on Rock Street so we can keep some more homeless off the streets. Thank you.
Mr. Caesar, final rebuttal.
Well, you heard again, 50 affordable. How many marked housing are you building in Fall River right now? Do you have the number? I would like to know. That's the numbers that we're talking about, okay? But the problem is when we telling this, it's all truths that we're telling in here, okay? But he turns around like he did 2 days ago and said that we're being negative. We're being negative. We're not being negative. We're telling the truth, and the truth has to be said, and that's not being negative.
Time. Next question, we're going to deal with the homeless situation. Every 2 years, candidates come to these debates and tell the people they will solve homelessness, yet after spending millions of dollars annually, it never goes away. If elected mayor in November, what is your plan to address the homeless situation? Be specific, tell us your plan, and if it will cost taxpayers money. And we start with Mr. Coogan.
Okay. Obviously, homelessness is a focus in every community in Massachusetts, and I'm extremely proud of the work the city's done tackling this very difficult issue. We developed the street outreach program. We created the first FAST team for homeless and opioid users. We just received another $2 million SAMHSA grant where they recognized the work we were doing. And we recently received another $500,000. We created our first enhancement without encampments, and I can tell you, we've taken 100 people out of camps, and we have 40 that have graduated to sobriety. 25 are still in our sober living arrangements, and that's a 65% rate on that 100 people. Is the work done? Absolutely not. We created a complete overflow shelter down at the Mayo Center at the bottom of Kennedy Park, and we purchased mobile bathrooms and trailers. We have tackled this program head on, and we're still doing it. We're cleaning camps out. We've started cleaning out the bottom of Kennedy Park. There is a lot of work to do. It's a very reluctant population, and they are very, very trying. But the city of Fall River has been a model for how communities should tackle the homeless issue, and I'm extremely proud of all the people that work day in and day out on this very difficult issue.
Okay, Mr. Caesar.
Okay, homeless. We spend over $3 million every year. We just spend it because we have the money, we spend it. Like he said, 500 here, 1,000 here, $1 million here. We spend over $3 million and we don't have the problem resolved. Why? Because this money, people don't want to resolve the problem because they depend on that check every Friday. We're never going to resolve the problem until we find a solution for it. Moving people from this place, kick them out without giving them a place to go, it's not resolving a problem. It's just adding to a problem. I'm not against tiny houses. He already said publicly that he's against tiny houses. If it's the road to fix the problem, to start fixing a problem, that's the road we have to take. And I have no problem with that. We have land. We have plenty of land. The city keeps buying land. The water department keeps buying land and fencing it, taking out of the taxpayers, okay, just to be fenced in. I understand they want to keep that land to be digged, but we still can use that land for something. We still can get revenue out of that land. So I have the plan,
Time.
and we're going to get a solution.
Mr. Amaral?
I don't know what that had to do with homeless. I'm indifferent a little bit. You know, I've seen the mayor out there and dealing with homeless stuff. I know some people on his team that have worked, and he does have some good and bad with it, right? I don't think he wants to see anyone homeless. I don't think anybody ever does. So I will give him that credit where it's due, of course, because he is out there. I've seen him out there doing it. I've seen his team out there. His team has actually helped me deal with a lot of those low-income families and stuff like that. So I'm not going to take that from him on that. But as far as dealing with the homeless, enabling it, you know, giving them bathrooms and, you know, tents and things like that, that's not helping clean up the situation. We need to attack it at the root. You're talking, you got to deal with the addiction side, you know, drug and alcohol addiction. You got to deal with the mentally ill, and then you got to deal with the people who just simply can't afford to live here, which is a real thing, despite what he says about, you know, rents and everything else and market rate housing. So you have to tackle those issues, and that's how you address the homeless problem. I do have additional ways that I plan on doing it. I'm still in the works with talking to several, you know, companies. It's going to take some moving things around, utilizing city buildings. There's some things that I have planned that's going to cut that debt in half, if not more, where it's not going to cost us as much. If we're paying $3.5 million now, which is the number they give us, I think it's actually more than that, just on the homeless, and that's keeping them on the streets. We should be utilizing that money to take them off the streets and attack those problems, working with the caretakers and people that we have, whether it's
Time.
Primacare, South Coast, it doesn't matter. We can work together to clean our streets. Attack the problem.
Mr. Coogan, rebuttal?
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words from Mr. Amaral, but at the same time, this is a overwhelming job. He had mentioned addiction. Just so people know, our opioid deaths are plummeting. In 2016, we had over 1,000 non-fatal opioid overdoses. In 25, we had 206. We're tackling this problem at the root. And it is a lot of community engagement, being in the camps, connecting with people and getting them the treatment they need, which then gets them out of homelessness and gets them back to be contributing members of society,
Time.
which is the goal for everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Amaral? I'm sorry, Mr. Caesar.
Well, the problem that it just mentioned in there is a lot of them, they go for the help. The problem is 2 weeks after they out, and that's it. The program is done. They go back on the street again. So where is the long project, the long plan that we're gonna get to fix it? Because just spending the money to send them 2 weeks away because
Time.
we have the money, that's not a solution.
Mr. Amaral?
I have nothing to rebut. At the end of the day, they can say whatever they want. If he had the answers, we wouldn't be in the predicament we're in. It's gotten exponentially worse over the last 6 years. It didn't get better. Yes, we cleaning up some things, but we're just bringing in more by enabling it. So it continues to grow based on the money being pushed towards enabling as opposed to correcting the problem. So there's nothing to rebut.
Okay, next question. In 15 years of covering politics in New Bedford and Fall River, I've done polls of what voters consider the top issue on their mind, and crime is always in the top two, if not the top one. So I'd like to just, simple question. What's your plan to make Fall River safer? And I believe we are with Mr. Caesar.
Okay, so we need people to work. So we need our full staff on the police department. We need to go back and put patrols on neighborhoods. We need to put the police out there. We don't have enough police. We get reports. Every month, I attend all the neighborhood meetings. We get reports, okay? Those reports is being changed, by the way. Those reports have been changed because the last report that he mentioned that the bike path got 800 calls. Those calls never got reported to the neighborhood groups. Never. I never heard about those calls. But that's another issue. The crime is we have to invest. They're struggling. They already not attending on accidents because they don't have enough people. How we get people, it's not just because of the pay raises. It's the insecurity the people have to get city jobs. Okay? That's why we have a problem with the school too. People are afraid to leave their jobs, that's a security job, to come to Fall River, and the next year they will be without a job. This is going on in the city for a long time.
Okay, time. Okay, so Mr. Vandal has shown up. He is a candidate for mayor, so he's going to take his seat.
Yes.
I asked Mr. Vandal if you could turn your phone off. I think you have some music playing.
It's my favorite. Can you turn your phone off? Yeah, we use it. It's all right.
Yeah, you can turn it.
Might as well.
Still my favorite. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Vandal is a candidate for mayor. He has every right to be here. So we're going to start. I think we ended with, so Mr. Mayoral.
Yeah, I forgot what the question was.
Okay, so we're going to go back to it. Very simple question. What's your plan to make Fall River safer?
I know how everybody likes to just hop on and say, oh, we'll just add more cops. The police are doing a fantastic job. So we need to stop just thinking like the cops aren't out there because it's not enough. These guys are killing themselves day in and day out. I'm sorry, guys and girls. When I say guys, I mean all. However, our police are doing a fantastic job. CAS teams, they're all doing amazing jobs. The courts, not so much in their favor in working with them, but they're doing a great job. Can they use more? Absolutely. But that's a multifaceted problem as well. We need to make sure that the problems within our police department, the constant nonsense. I mean, we've gone through what? How many chiefs? 4 in the last few years? I think just under this administration, we're at 4 chiefs. So the turnover rate, the inconsistency, all that plays a role with that. Then you got to look at, there's nothing for our kids outside of school. There's nothing for these kids to get into. So violence, trouble, it's going to happen. There's a multifaceted issue. You have to give the people more within the city. You eliminate the crime rate. When you got nothing to do, you're ultimately going to get in trouble. You're going to find a way. Our cops can only do so much. Yes, they can only cover so much ground. Yes, we need more police officers. Absolutely. It's not a money problem there. They have it. They have the overtime. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cops that abuse some of the system. Not enough. There's a lot more good ones than bad ones, but we have it with everywhere. So unlimited sick days, being gone for years at a time, these things play a role too with these cops having to work overtime. They're struggling. They're stressing. It's not fair.
Okay, time. Okay, Mr. Vandal, welcome.
Yes, how are you?
So our question is, what's your plan to make Fall River a safer place?
Well, usually when you get into the job as running the police department, you do everything by trial and error. You get acquainted with usually the mayor himself gets acquainted. But there's a lot of things coming into the city with the train. There's a lot of people coming in and out. So it's more maneuverable. There's more crime around. There should be around that train station. And a lot of the population is moving around very quickly. So you got a lot of homeless people coming in and out. and going all over the city, and it's just a tough thing to monitor, but everything by trial and error, and usually it's the mayor that usually gets, learns to experience by actually handling it, because he talks with all the chief of staff, all the different people coming in and out through that police department. So he's got more, he learns, you know what I mean? So everybody that goes in the office, they don't know everything what they're doing. They learn by actually doing the job. I just try to do the job the best way I know how. I think that's about it.
Okay. Mr. Coogan?
Yeah, obviously, public safety is a very important element. Our police department, now we have the first female chief in the history of Fall River. We've created our NEAT and our CAS teams, which is a very aggressive form of policing where they go out to where the criminals are before something goes wrong. They have a very, very extensive network of cameras, informants, people that work with them to try to make the city safer. It's a very, very trying time between the amount of weapons that are on the streets, but our police force is doing a great job. We've strengthened our relationships with the DEA, the FBI, and the Mass State Police. They're assisting us with anything they can give us. And there's tremendous coordination across the board to try to clamp down on some of these career criminals. If you notice, when we went into a few of the homeless camps, we were actually serving warrants to people that we were looking for drug dealing, for violence, for things that we want them out of this community. We do not need those people here, and I applaud the work of the police department, from the patrolman to the chief, through all the deputies, to the captains, lieutenants. They're on the road. They're doing their best they can. We try to give them all the equipment they need, whether it's ARPA money, new cars, or any kind of equipment they need to make their job safer. I appreciate the question.
Okay. So we'll go to rebuttals. Back to Mr. Caesar.
Okay,
30 seconds.
I work with I already worked probably with 4 chiefs since I'm involved on the city. And I never said that they're not doing a good job. They're doing an excellent job. The problem, I say, is they need help. They come to the neighborhood groups, and that's what they say. We are short. We need people. We need more bodies. We need this, and we need that. So they need the tools to do the work, but they need more.
Time. Okay. Mr. Emerald?
I agree. They need the help, but then they need to stop taking care of just their select few people. The nepotism needs to stop, and they need to start taking care of that. So leadership is everything. Our officers, our teams, they're doing the best they can. Our rookie cops are doing the best they can. They can only do so much, right? Our good cops are leaving. They're going to smaller towns. They're going to other places. They're leaving. The fact that it took 800 plus calls to even get that cleaned up is a problem in itself. It's a problem in itself. It's like its own little neighborhood of crime. So it should have been done much sooner.
Time.
Outside of that, I got nothing.
Okay, Mr. Vandal, you have a 30-second rebuttal. Same question. How are you going to reduce crime? Or make the city safer?
Get all the chiefs together, do whatever you can, trial and error, that you learn through experience, and just try to organize it the best way you know how. Everybody's not an expert of putting everything together here. That trial and error. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move to the next question. It'll go to Mr. Amaral first. We're going to move on to the budget. And I did ask in our forward group of 65,000 people to submit some questions. I'm taking one from Christopher Kornman. He says, how will you be working with the city council to give taxpayers a break? And I'd like to add to that is give us some ideas how to reduce the costs of the budget or increasing revenue. And that goes to Mr. Amaral first.
And you want that in 90 seconds?
Yes.
Awesome. So I plan to work with the city council, school committee, city council. I plan to work with my teams. We are a team. We are in this together for the people. Why we go in there and have to fight each other and grandstand each other, it makes no sense to me. So I'm going to work with them. There's a wealth of knowledge in those 9 people, much more than I've ever had. Why would I not utilize that? So we're going to work together. We are one team, one fight, one city. We're going to work together. There's that knowledge you'll never compare to. You got 9 experts that have been looking through budgets, tearing through budgets, all different facets of their lives and their personal jobs. Why would I not utilize that? So that's first and foremost. I'm never coming downstairs to fight with them. Never. I will go to every meeting if they want me there. I have no problem with that. You're not going to get somebody else from my office saying, oh, I don't want to be there. You know, God forbid something happens to my family, then that's different. But I will absolutely come down and answer questions. If I don't have the answers, help me find the right answers, because that's what we're all running on, to be better for the taxpayer. We all ran to save you money. We're all running to take care of our city. If we can't work together, then that's clearly not a true statement. So I plan to work with them. It's that easy. As far as in-depth plan, I don't know how much time I got left.
You got 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
You get rebuttal time, and we're going to do more on the budget. We have a few questions to the budget.
We definitely need more time. I mean, you're looking at cannabis money's $1.8 million a year. Where's it going? You're looking at, we're bringing in excise taxes of over $8 million a year. They're telling us that they can only do $5 million a year worth of jobs. Where's the other $3 million going? There's money everywhere. That's just one small sample. There's money everywhere that we can do. So as far as lowering the budget, I will guarantee you, we will figure out a way. Myself and that city council,
Okay,
I
time.
don't care who it is, we will lower that budget.
Okay, Mr. Vandal?
I have the title father. They discovered 2 medical fields with me being right dead center. If I make a mistake on your budget, I'm sure that the word father, I'll be able to, down the road, when everything is all put together, that company. If I make any mistakes, I'll put the money back in your budget. So if I do things, make mistakes, I'll make up the difference. So I'll be forming that company. It'll represent 350 million people, representing dentistry for the people, for the interest of the United States. And then me as a father, I'll assign that company right to the public. Hopefully I can get the cooperation from the unions, so I could form the company with the unions of the United States. Thank you. Trial and error.
Okay, Mr. Coogan?
Obviously, we're obligated to submit a balanced budget every year, and as I said earlier in the presentation, the majority of the increases in the budget for the city of Fall River is school funding, which is mandated by the state. We have a number they give us, and if we don't meet that number, the next year we have to make up the money to meet that number. We spent almost over $100 million in school funding mandated. State aid. When we're looking for new revenue to put into that budget, whether it's cannabis money, since 2020, new growth has accounted for $40 million real estate taxes has accounted for a $40 million increase in our budget. $20 million of that is new growth.
You're welcome.
That's money we brought in that's coming because people are building in our city, and they're sending their money to the real estate taxes, which is what we desperately need to fund it. Costs across the line in our budget are going up. Our health insurance in the city of Fall River is going up 8.5%. The GIC, which is the state program, is going up by 11%. Insurance, wages, we're now paying our policemen a much more competitive rate, as we are our firemen and our EMS people and our DCM. That increases the budget. These are costs necessitated by having a city that's vibrant and effective. You have to pay people. When they were talking about people going to other communities in our exit interviews, the majority of them are
Time.
leaving for more money. We want to keep them here.
Mr. Caesar?
Well, I decided to run 2 years ago. And since then, I sit down with people that understand about numbers, understand about budgets, under standby contracts. And the money is in a budget. It's just not being spent wisely. With all this new money coming in, but they already coming after us, watch next city council meeting. They already coming after us for more money on the rainwater fee. So, if we have all this money coming in, all these new buildings coming in, where's the money? I agreed with him. I think we both agreed. Where is this money? That's what we're going to find out with the forensic order. When it comes down to city council, one thing that I can promise you is whatever city council decides, I'm not going to circumvent behind city councils. They made the decision. They vote for the people. They are the people's voice. If they decide something, it's done. It's a done deal. I'm not going to go back doors and do deals behind them. That's one thing I can guarantee you. I will respect city councils because they are your voice.
Okay, time. So everyone has a lot more to say on this, so I'm going to let the rebuttals be 1 minute. So we're going to go back to Boomer.
So, it is not in education. And if it is in education, you're dealing with paying off cyber attacks, not telling the people about it. You're looking at DOJ investigations, you're paying attorney fees. That's where the education money is going. Covering sexual assaults, you're dealing with that stuff. It's not going to education. Education has plenty of funding, plenty of money. Tansy is the top performing school in our city. It's the lowest funded. You think it's a money issue? I don't. It's not a money issue. It's not a funding issue. Okay? It's not a funding issue. It's a leadership issue. We have too many chiefs, not enough Indians in our school systems. We don't have enough teachers. We have paras in the classrooms. We've got kids sitting in cafeterias because we can't even get teachers. But don't worry, if you go to the main office to go and find your child because they interrogate them or they have a sexual assault, don't worry about it. There's 55 administrators sitting in the office waiting for you so they can all cover each other's stories. That's what you really get. Okay, we got 4 vice principals, a principal, 2 coaches, 3 heads of whatever departments there are at every single school. We are the same education across the district. How many department heads do you need? So don't tell me that it's the state forcing us to spend money. Tell them no, we don't need it. We need leadership.
Okay, Mr. Vandal, you have 1 minute.
Again, I own a company that's going to be given to the public. Dentistry for the people. It has to be refiled. Hopefully I get the unions to join up to help me form it. I'm sure it's worth more than all your budget. Like I was saying, whatever mistakes I make, I'll make up the difference. I don't know what to say. So learn by experience, trial and error. And like I was saying, if I lose some, then I start making up the difference. I put in my own money.
Okay, time. Mr. Coogan, 1 minute.
Yeah, I just got to be clear on this. The budget has increased since 2020 to 26 during my 6 years, $155 million. Mm-hmm. Of that 155, 101 of it is state mandated school budget spending. State assessments, another mandated cost, is $13 million. Pensions for our retirees is $13 million. Insurance is $7 million. Public safety takes $6.8 million. Solid waste expenses are $5.4. The increase for all the other departments in the city since then is $7.8 million. We are not going to refuse money from the state for our schools. This is how our kids get a better education and more supports in the classroom.
Then why are we low?
We have almost transitioned from education not only to food, counseling, after-school activities. We support our kids all day long with breakfast, lunch, and sometimes a snack in the afternoon. This is what's going on in education right now, and our enrollment is blossoming. We've gone from 10,500 students to over 11,500 students. People are trying to get their kids into the Fall River schools.
Okay, Mr. Caesar, you got a minute.
Okay, so with all that, he didn't have time to mention $650,000 in pay increases.
Shocking.
Okay, for favorite friends that you hired at the last 4 years. Because we have people working at City Hall still making $20 an hour for years, dedicated employees to the city. And Mr. Mayor, you got $87 million in ARPA money. Where did you use all that money that you didn't help the taxpayer a little bit in relief in taxes? Where all that money went? It's something that a forensic audit is gonna show for sure.
Okay, move on to the next question. Former Police Chief Furtado is on a one-year contract. So the next mayor and city council will determine the next chief is. Will you search for the next chief internally, which could mean renewing her contract or finding someone else, or will you open up the process to candidates outside the city like New Bedford did recently? So we are on Mr. Vandal. You start the process. You have 90 seconds.
Again, I'm gonna keep on going back to as being the owner for the public of the company.
Mr. Vandal, if you could stick to the topic. So we're talking the police chief.
Okay. Within picking a police chief, trial and error, again, being in there and having the experience in working along with just picking the person. That, like I was saying, I'll be making mistakes just like any new mayor, but a lot of times they can't put in their own money. That's the difference. That make sense?
Well, let me ask you, would you support staying inside the police department, or would you consider going outside to find the next chief? And it could be her, it could be someone else internally in the police department.
I do that at the time that I'm there, that it's actual action, you know what I mean? Again, a lot of the differences that I would, a lot of the way that I would do it different, if I make a mistake, I'll pay for it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vandal. Mr. Coogan.
Obviously, we're in working with the city council. We gave Chief Furtado a one-year contract. We're moving it towards a civil service position, which then will allow civil service to decide the list that they send us for the next possible chiefs. So people from the outside could be on that list, people from the inside could be on that list, and I think the city of Fall River deserves the best person available.
Is that a guarantee that it will go to civil service?
I answered the question.
I'm just asking, I'm just
I
wondering.
answered the question.
Okay. Mr. Caesar?
Yes, civil service too. I do agree that we need to stop picking chiefs, because we always gonna pick the people that we want there to work and to obey us. So I think that's the only solution out of all that mess.
Okay, Mr. Amaral?
It's still a toss-up for me. Either way, I don't want the control of doing it. I have zero desire to have people in place that do their job based on relying on if they're going to have a job tomorrow, if they pissed me off or not. So for me, I'm okay with it, but I would like to look at the option of giving the police department themselves, every officer that works for them, let them select their top 2 people that they want and let them vote it out. They're the ones who got to work for them. They know the insides and the ins and outs of dealing with who they got to be with and who they got to listen to, who they're going to respect. You're not going to work for toxic leadership. You're going to look for a way out, and that's why we have a retention problem. We don't have a recruiting problem. People want to go to the academies. People want to be cops and firefighters. People love those things. I sent soldiers to war for pennies. Like, people love this stuff. It's weird, but reality is they gotta want to work for their leadership. They gotta want to work for their commanders, and I want to let them decide. But if that doesn't work, I'll talk to the city council. We'll sit down with the unions. We'll sit down with the police department, and we'll come up with the best course of action. But I do not want to pick one of my friends just because I can. That's not the way I'm going to do business.
Okay, we'll move to rebuttals. Mr. Vandal, same question. I'll have to ask you to stick to the topic, so I'll have to move on to the
All right.
other candidates. So, Chief of Police.
I'll make mistakes.
Mr. Vanda, we can't keep repeating the
But if I
same.
do, again, I'll pay for the mistakes and I'll go back and forth. I would just do whatever I could do at the time,
I love it.
being in the job, working on the job.
Okay, let's move on to Mayor Coogan, rebuttal.
Yeah, I mean, civil service is what we have proposed for the end of this one-year contract, and that list will come down to us. I don't think Mr. Amaral has a bad idea about some of the people, whether they do it in a formal vote of everybody or they're on the search committee. I'm not opposed to that either. So I just want the best person serving the city of Fall River that puts Fall River first.
Mr. Caesar? Okay, Mr. Amaral?
I agree. I want the best person serving the city. That's why I'm here.
Okay, so we're back to Mr. Coogan for the next questions. Education. School spending is the largest portion of the budget, but there's never enough money to take care of all the needs. What's your educational priority for the next budget priority? So education, what's the priority for the school system?
Obviously, because of the influx of the Student Opportunity Act money, we've had a ton of money pumped into the Fall River Public Schools. I believe in mostly all cases, our buildings are top shelf. Right now, we're doing a tremendous project down at RPA for new windows. We've done a lot of work at Talbot Middle School, and our 2501 South Main Street was an absolute tremendous deal for the city of Fall River to get another alternative school pre-K center out there. Our contract with the diocese to expand and use Conley is really saving us another significant bump of money, and a lot of good things are going on. I've spoken with the superintendent a number of times. I'd like to see us focus on reading. I think reading is the key to having a well-rounded, well-educated population. We also have the social emotional aspects. These kids need supports that they're not getting at home. We need to give it to them, and we need to give them positive options. I think if we focus our spending on those areas, and we increased our teachers' salaries significantly, because it's the same thing that the rest of the panel was talking about, bringing the people in, not the left behinds, not the people that go to the other communities because they get more money. They come to Fall River because they want to teach in an urban setting, they want to help our kids, and they want to be paid similar salaries to our neighboring schools. We're not there yet. We're still behind Taunton, we're still behind New Bedford, but we had significantly long negotiations with our teachers union to try to get their salary up to a point where we can get competitive for some of the better teachers. That's my focus. Improve teaching, reading, and make sure our kids get the social, economic supports, social, emotional
Time.
supports they need. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Caesar?
Well, all those departments, they are very important. Again, we probably are spending the money the wrong way. Remember Durfee. We had to build the best of the best, Durfee High School. I don't know how much more we still have to pay, because he promised us 8 years after that was going to be into the budget, that we didn't have to pay more. So I was on that committee. I don't know if Mr. Coogan remembers when he was going around on the neighborhoods proposing a new Durfee. I was there, not against building the school, but I was against the way we were going to pay for it, especially after, during a city council meeting, that I heard the city council say that we could pay that school out of our budget. That's when it was a wake-up call for me, and that's why I was against it. Now, I was sitting next to him, you know, during those presentations. So we need to put kids and teachers. The teachers were 3 years without contracts. Okay, so I don't know why it took that long. If
Time.
we need teachers to teach our kids, I don't know why it takes so long. Out of time?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Amaral?
We don't just have the audit that says we're doing terrible in school. We don't just have the reports from the state that say we're doing terrible, that says DESI's doing terrible. We are literally under a DOJ investigation at RPA. Okay? Concluded a multi-year investigation which yielded results indicating that Fall River Public Schools had referred an inexcusable ratio of SPED students to RPA. Okay? These kids are just being tossed aside and thrown in the building, and we're going to put new windows in it, and that should make it all better and all go away. Our children need to be educated, and they're going to go back to school. We're not just going to throw them away so we can keep getting paid from the state and whatever else, however the money comes in. We're not going to do that. They need to be around positive influence. We put those kids there. You know, I was literally told by an administrator that, oh, you're going to put them back in Gen Pop. Like they're in prison. That is not okay. These are children in the toughest years of their lives. And I know, you know, Mr. Coogan and, you know, and some of his, you know, supporters didn't grow up on this side of the streets, but school is the only safe place we had sometimes. It's the only place we got food sometimes. So when you start sticking us in with all the people that you consider the bad kids because they're going to take away from your numbers in your pretty school, guess what? Your pretty school's already failing. And it's not because of those 180 kids. It's because of the leadership. So I'm going to put it there. Then I'm going to look at the unfunded mandates. Why? Why hasn't this been sent out yet? Why is transportation $16 million for us now?
Time.
From $5 million to $16 million. I can go on for days. It's all here.
You'll have rebuttal time. Okay, Mr. Vandal, please focus on education.
I had to pass a biometrics test, which was on the college level. I did very well. I don't remember all the aspects about it, but I did well. Reading is number one. I like the arts. I like the liberal arts. I still did dance and music in a lot of those areas. But on the college level, so I would take that experience that I have, and then again, in the long run, I would take the actual experience by dealing with the circumstances as I deal with it, using my knowledge when I was in college. But I did pass big time on the college level reading.
Okay, time.
I'll let it go at that like that, you know? Everybody's not a geniuses, you know what I mean?
Okay, Mr. Vandal, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, and now we're on Mr. Caesar. We'll be for the next question.
Oh, no rebuttal on that?
Oh, I'm sorry, yep.
Thank you.
I got a little distracted there. So yeah, we're doing rebuttals. Mr. Coogan, we're going to give a full minute on this. Education's important.
Good. I want to say a few things that were said here. The teachers did not have a contract for 3 years. Their contract expired in June, and we worked our way through it. As far as the taxes, the vote for the new Durfee was voted on by the citizens in Fall River. The first year we gave them, we buried it in the budget so it wasn't an assessment, and the next 2 years we reduced it by half to give our taxpayers a break. What Mr. Amaral's talking about at RPA, I'm not quite sure. We're upgrading that building because the MSBA has given us the money to do it, and it'll save us some money. Last time he was at the Flint Neighborhood Association, he used the word rot. We're not sending kids to RPA to rot. We're sending kids there to get an education. They need additional supports. They weren't able to function in a building as big as Durfee. It is a true challenge for some students. I worked there for a number of years. I know what goes on. Some kids need smaller classroom, more support, and that's why they go to RPA.
Time.
Thank you.
Mr. Caesar?
Well, here's my opinion. Buildings don't educate kids. Teachers do.
Thank you.
When I went to school at 5-year-old, I already knew my ABC and my 1, 2, 3s. You know what I learned? On the steps outside the house of my grandmother. Okay? So, buildings don't teach kids. Teachers do.
Mr. Amaral?
RPA is costing us $3.5 roughly $1 million. Numbers close to there. Either way, it's over $3 million. Put putting those kids back in Durfee, taking that staff that genuinely knows how to work with those kids and helping them in the building that they belong in, putting those kids around positive influences, other kids that are getting rewarded for doing good. They want to compete. These kids know what a last chance feels like. I was that kid. I was kicked out of school. I was given a chance. Mr. Attar, okay? We can go over that story another time because I don't have it today, but I was given that chance, and I knew what it meant. There was no RPA, there was no fallback, there was no nothing. We have day school, we have night school, we have summer school, we have options. RPA, like a prison, is not it. These kids need hope, they need a chance, and they need to be around their friends, they need to be around people. If kids are doing criminal stuff, then hey, they're gonna have to deal with the consequences, and you wanna do adult things, you're gonna get treated like adults. Gloves off, just like it's the same thing with homeless, just like anything else. But they have to be given the same chances, and somebody has to believe in these kids. And I know what it's like to be forgotten and be one of those kids.
Okay, time. And Mr. Vandal, can I ask you can you give me one idea that you would have to improve the school system in Fall River? Just give me one, please. You have 1 minute.
What are you looking for, a genius answer?
I just would like one simple answer it could be very general.
That,
Increase funding, something, anything, Mr. Vandal.
Can I get help like that?
if they had extra money, maybe they could do things a little bit better. If you ever noticed, or if you ever showed up with extra money, it would be over the budget, and it would be directly from me. So we'll say it like that. A lot of mistakes that I would make, even if I didn't understand what was going on at the time, I'd make up the difference. I'd walk in myself and then see what improvements that I could make in actually walking up live and doing it.
Okay, time,
On
Mr.
demand.
Vandal. Thank you. Okay, so we move on to Mr. Caesar for the next question. And the question is about ARPA funds. The city of Fall River received almost $86 million of ARPA funding. Was the money well spent?
I think I already answered that. Was not good spent, and I would like to know where was spent. Besides, I know $1.5 million went for some boxing school. I know about that, but the rest I have no idea where the money went. I would like Mr. Coogan to tell us.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, Mr. Emerald.
I do not believe it was spent well to help the taxpayers. I like that they tried to do something for the kids, especially with COVID and everything else going on, and trying to get the kids to do something after being locked up for a while. So I don't have a problem with using some of the money for our youth. I'm very big in youth programs. I've been coaching and volunteering and vice presidents of leagues. I've been doing that for 2 decades. So I'm all for doing things for the kids, but those are short-term answers. We needed to build things for the kids, and we're not doing that. When I look at, we received 69.599 million, and then the county came in with another 14 million. We committed 59 million, so we expended 35 million. You're looking at the budget saying zero remaining. I'm still short $10 million. I know I only have a Durfee education. I apologize. I don't do Common Core or Math Mountains, but $10 million is a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure that would fund just about everything that we need, or help lower our budget and get it closer to that $500 million mark instead of going over it. So I'm sure he has the answers. I know he's got the pretty book of all the answers. He's got a whole team with his whole playbook, and that's great. But he should have had these answers over the last 6 years. So I know we gave Mr. Fiola money to create jobs, or loan out money to create jobs, and fantastic. I haven't seen any yet. So Line Pier audit came in. They agree that he couldn't even keep track of checks and
Time.
money. So something tells me he wasn't the best man to give the money to.
Okay, Mr. Vandal, talking ARPA money, was the money well spent?
Everything is dollars and cents. That's what it comes down to. When I build up this company, like I was saying, trial and error, I look at all the aspects of where the money is going, and at my discretion, then again, I'm gonna say again, I'll put in my own money from the company that I get paid.
Mr. Vando, the topic is ARPA spending. If you could stick to that, please.
Excuse me?
The federal government sent the city of Fall River $86 million. It was spent, or most of it was spent. Was it spent wisely?
I don't know the answer to that one. But like I was saying, some of the differences that I could make with being live on the job and seeing it in person, then I would decide from there.
Okay, time. Okay, so back to, now we're on Mr. Coogan.
Okay, so obviously, you know, I really appreciate Mr. Amaral telling me this was a pretty book, because it is a pretty book. But it contains all the spending for ARPA. It's been audited. The reason the money is not all spent out yet is because we're in the middle of a massive project at Lewiston Street, where that place, if anybody had gone there, would see it was not an appropriate setting for DCM in the city of Fall River. We had junk cars, we had open pits, we had ceilings coming down. So we committed a ton of people and a ton of money to fix up Lewiston Street. The budget for ARPA that was audited, the money, I've said before, we had a panel. They looked at the expenses. A ton of money went to water and sewer to keep the rates low. The Veterans Office got money. The Fire Department got money. The Police Department got money. Technology got money. Elections. We have it all documented in the book, and this book is a model for other communities in the state. I will give a donation of $500, and I know he'll do the same to me if Mr. Caesar can show me where we spent $1.5 million for boxing. If he shows me that, I'll donate a $500
Did the
check to
city
his
council-
campaign.
did the-
My position
No, it's fine,
is,
it's fine,
hold
yeah.
on. He said we gave $1.5 million to boxing. These are the kind of comments that make the program look like it wasn't running efficiently. I wouldn't give $1.5 million to boxing. I wouldn't approve it. If I was on the panel, I would vote no. If he was on the panel, maybe because he thinks that's what we did, he may have voted yes. I would vote no. My position is some of those programs that Mr. Amaral was talking to, whether the money went
Okay,
to a
time.
boxing school or the boys club, was to help kids coming out of COVID. And that's what we did. But no boxing school I know got $1.5 million.
Okay, now we're going to the rebuttals. Mr. Caesar, we're going to give 1 minute on rebuttals.
Okay, so I know $1.5 million was decided at the city council, okay, was,
To a boxing school.
yes, to help a boxing school. So,
That's not what you said.
another thing
That's
too.
not what you said.
That's what I said. And another thing too is you mentioned in there a lot of money from there went to the water department.
Correct.
Okay, so why you coming back for more money for rainwater fee?
We're coming around again, right?
Why we have to put
Yes.
$25 more for one water fee? That project, it's supposed to be done by December 31st this year, December 31st.
That's not
okay.
ARPA.
We still don't know. No, I'm talking about ARPA because you mentioned ARPA on the money on that ARPA. So that's why I'm saying if you put so much money from that book into the water department, okay, we should be done and pay and done with water run fee. That's what we should do.
Time. Mr. Amaral.
CSO project has nothing to do with opera, though I would love to know the balance, and I do agree that it's ridiculous. Water main replacement, 13.1 million, plus another 5 million in stormwater, 3 million in lead pipes. We used 12.1 million. Again, Durfee math, we're still missing $1 million. Water department, put the money together, follow it. So, listen, I'm sure the answers are in his book, and I hope they are, but the budget doesn't show that. The money is always disappearing. We gave them all this money. So you're looking at, okay, 13 million, another 5 million, another 12 million. So if we gave them all this money, how are they coming back and raising your fees again? Again. Every year. Every year. They own 30% of our waterfront property. Why does the water department own our waterfront property? They don't pay taxes on it, but yet they keep coming at us for more money for them. It needs to stop.
Okay, Mr. Vandal?
The answer to this is learn right on the job. Again, going back to the enormous pay that I would have is that with that company, I would back it up with my company and make mistakes, I'll pay for it.
Mr. Vandal, how much money do you have? I'm sure the city will take a blank check. Okay, let's move on.
I don't think I want to answer that.
Okay, so we're going to move on. Mr. Coogan, you have rebuttal time.
Yeah. What happens, why you see balances that Mr. Amaral's pointing out is because the money has not been spent down yet. The money had to be committed by December of '25. We met the deadline. It has to be spent by, I'm not sure if it's the end of '26 or the middle of '27, but there's another deadline where the money must be expended. So if there's an expense there that didn't match up with the allotment yet, it's because we haven't got that money out the door yet. It is not Fall River and our water department. We have old pipes everywhere. The other grant we got was for $10 million to do lead pipe removal. That's not coming out of the taxpayers' money. We're paying people to have the lead pipes removed from their houses because it's a health hazard. We got the grant working with our federal and state delegation. ARPA is what we were talking about. The water bills that Mr. Amaral was kind enough to point out, if we didn't have ARPA, those would have been tacked onto your water bill because it's all work we have to do. We have to get our pipes back in order. It's an old city. A lot of those pipes are from God knows when. I live on Oak Grove Avenue.
Time.
We're still collapsing pipes up there.
But yours are new.
Okay, so we're going to have our
No.
we're going to have our final question, and then we're going to move on to the closing statements. So the final question is the Route 79 waterfront. The next mayor will play a major role in what Route 79, the waterfront, looks like. Detail what you'd like to see it looking like 10 years from now. And we are on with Mr. Amaral.
Alive. Something for us to do, someplace we want to be, innovative jobs, medical field, things that we can do. I don't care if we have to, I'd rather give a TIF to a business bringing in 100 jobs than put apartment houses on by our water that do nothing for our city. They will not pay us a dime in tax dollars. We will be covering the costs. We will be covering the schools. We will be covering the influx of cars and parking and whatever else that comes with it. We will be covering that cost when they leave. He already said it. It's his last term. He wants to finish that project. Well, why would you want to finish a project and not live through it? Because you know you'd have to sit here and pay for it. And that's the problem. We're not selling it out. I don't care if the state gets it. The RDA is not getting it. We need what the people want. We need to have a say in that. If the state is going to listen to us and they want to take the whole thing, fine, go for it. But you need to listen to us. And if they're not and they're going to give us 19 acres or 22 acres, I think it was 19, whatever it is, I'm all for it. I'll work with our investors. I will absolutely work with any investor. But I'm not here to put another 100, 200, 400 units of non-taxable income so somebody else can get wealthy and live in billion-dollar homes on the water. This is our only chance to get this right. We'll never be able to fix it and afford it again. We got one shot, and I'm the only one with an imagination big enough to do it, and the only one that's willing to stand up to them so we can get it done our way and not just sell it off to our friends.
Okay, Mr. Vanda, what does the waterfront look like 10 years from now?
I'll say the same thing again.
Please don't.
That the same thing again. There may be some mistakes made. Turn around, correct it. I'd pay for it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vandal. Okay, Mayor Coogan.
Yeah. Obviously, we've had plenty of artist renditions about what the waterfront's going to look like in 10 years. These are all proposals. We haven't settled on it yet.
craziness this is.
But we're hoping that it's a vibrant community with retail, restaurants, some open-air spots for music, housing, walk to the train station if you have to go to Boston, but come and live in Fall River on our waterfront. We want you here. There's a number of investors looking at it. Like Mr. Amaral said, we have not settled on who's going to control it yet. But I don't know what Mr. Vandal is. I'm the only Democrat on this stage. I have 2 other Republicans I'm running against, and this is a Democratic state. So we want our team to work with us to do what's best. All right. It's the last question, and we were doing so good tonight, so let's just finish up. My point being that we have to do what's best for the entire community. And I think you see the steps now of what's going on down there, whether it's the infrastructure, the pipes, the electricity we're bringing in. You will see massive growth down there, which, guess what, is jobs and jobs and jobs. When people are working down there now, I drive by all the time. There's 50, 100 construction workers on that site driving trucks, moving earth, laying concrete. This is what jobs are about, and these people are making a good living to come and support things in our city. That's how it's going to work. We're going to have a number of great jobs for a number of years,
Time.
and I am finishing this term, but I can assure Mr. Amaral that that project will not be done in 2 years, and I'm not staying after that, so thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Caesar.
Well, okay, so I was born in the waterfront. If I go to my backyard, it was a waterfront. Just 5 years ago, I took pictures from the cruise ships, right from my parents' backyard. So nobody knows and understands what a waterfront is supposed to be and look like. But here is the last opportunity that this city has to create entertainment for the residents, okay? To create revenue, tourism. It's on that waterfront. So don't sell on the idea that this investor is going to give you $10 million in tax at the end of the year, because if they're going to give you 10 million, they're going to pocket 100 million, okay? So I have an architect. I'm working with an architect for months. He's putting my vision for the waterfront and creating a master plan, okay? The problem is, I don't know how many contracts are done, because we cannot get no information from this administration, how far we are, how many contracts, who they're looking for, okay? Because we have a good possibility to look outside the city for investors. Investors that can invest in any part of the world to come to Fall River, because we have a unique waterfront.
Time.
And this is the last opportunity we have to give back to the citizens some entertainment and some tourism money.
Mr. Amaral.
So I'm pretty sure, I'm glad he thought it was funny that basically saying this is a Democratic state, meaning what he was trying to say is they're not going to work with us because we're Republicans. I get that they endorsed you, and I'm very proud of you.
They didn't endorse me.
They did endorse you. I can read it. It's on your page. It's on your page.
In 23.
It's on your page. I can read it.
That's 2 years
So
ago.
your
Dave.
listen, your state reps can endorse you. Your mayor can. Everybody can endorse you. Your governor, your lieutenant governor, the president can endorse you. At the end of the day, they don't live here. And yes, I said it. They don't live here. Not a single Republican has ever raised your taxes. Not a single Republican has ever run this city into the ground like this. So he can call us whatever you want. Being a Republican doesn't make us bad people, because I'm positive I grew up a Democrat until I joined the military. And then I learned what was really going on and figured it out for myself and what was benefiting from my family. Just because you're a Democrat Republican doesn't make you a bad person. I'm positive we agree on probably 80, 90% of the issues. What we don't agree on is how you steal our money, tax us, build your big governments, and keep it within your people, and then we have to keep paying for it. And every time you wanted a raise when you were in the school department, you came to the taxpayer.
Time.
For 30 years,
No.
you went to City Hall, you want more money, you come to the taxpayer. You've not created a single real job your whole life. So please don't talk to us about what we can build in our city, because I know what it takes to build.
Okay, time. And we're on rebuttal time, so Mr. Vandal.
Is there another round?
Yeah, you get one rebuttal.
Again, by experience, working, doing whatever has to be, whatever I own as the father of dentistry is the public's. So I'll do everything within the interest of the public. I think that's self-explanatory, and it's more than your budget. It's more than all your money.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vandal. Okay, we're on rebuttal time, Mr. Coogan.
Obviously, Mr. Amaral has his years confused. I was not endorsed this year by the governor or the lieutenant governor. It was the last campaign, no,
Okay, quiet down,
I'm
please.
not lying. No, that was from the last campaign. Let's talk about the waterfront. Okay, please. Let's talk about the waterfront. If we do it right down there, we're going to have a draw as a destination to bring people to our city, to go to the Cove, to go to visit our Vietnam Memorial Wall, to walk along our boardwalk, to come and enjoy the music at the Narrows. If we can get people into the city that want to commute to Boston by train, where they can walk across the street, our goal with that whole strip will be a livable, vibrant neighborhood that creates a number of jobs, a number of tax revenue, and helps to turn our city around. We're literally going to drop a neighborhood right into that whole area. Very similar to what's going on over here on Kilburn and Dwelly Street. Single-family houses,
Okay,
a
time.
renovated mill. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Caesar, this is the last rebuttal, and we're going to move on to the closing statements.
Okay, so at the end of the day, what they're building there was a highway, period. Has lights, but it's a highway. So the idea of the administration to create these buildings in there is just imagine yourself driving behind a car that has to stop before it turns into the property. So when Mr. Mayor talks about we want a community that's going to just walk into the waterfront, well, you already lost the train on that one. So that's not going to happen.
Okay, so we did random drawings, and Mr. Coogan started at his opening statement, so we're going to go reverse order. We're going to start with Mr. Vandal, closing statements, down to Mr. Coogan. You have 2 minutes.
No rebuttal?
We did the rebuttals.
That
Those
was
were
a
1 minute
rebuttal?
rebuttals.
Oh, can I do another one?
No, we're going to do closing statements. We're almost close to the end here. You can rebut in your closing statement if you like. Okay, so Mr. Vandal, you have 2 minutes closing statement. If you
I
talk,
kind of go along with Coogan with the waterfront. If I was in the position, I'd make it happen. Then again, I'd put my own money in it.
That's not Coogan.
Well, you got one voter.
I don't think we need ARPA anymore. We have Mr. Vandal.
Problem solved.
Are you done, Mr. Vandal?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Amaral.
Closing, right?
Yeah, closing statement.
You're all going to hear the same nonsense, the same repetitive craziness that has been said for the last decade. It's not just Mayor Coogan. This is before him. You're talking about 2 recalled mayors, 1 in prison, and another one that doesn't even run the city. Like, he's at every event. That's great because somebody else is running the city, and that's fantastic. We need leadership. We need to start focusing on the people. Like you, I raise my kids here. I'm living here. I work here every day. I deal with the city inside and out. I don't just go to my neighborhood that just got all new streets and new sidewalks again. I live where you live. I live the way you live. We need better. If he had the answers, he would have done it over the last 6 years. We need to stop thinking we're going to do the same thing again and again and get different results. Insanity is a real thing, and that's exactly what it would be. I'm not going to sit here and bicker and argue and do what he does at the school committee with the snarky remarks. We can do this all day, every day. It's not going to get us anywhere. Not one of these times that we do this is going to benefit the people and actually help the issues. New Bedford's trash and waste is 8.7 million. We're at 16. But look who donated to his accounts, and now we're paying out of our pockets. He gets the donors, he gets our tax dollars, he pays them, they pay him. Who loses? We do, every single time. Who's getting the jobs? He's talking about all these jobs, all these builders, all these people digging up the roads. Who is it? Follow the money. Look at the donors, look who's got the jobs. Look at the donors, look who's got the jobs. Rinse and repeat. It's not that hard. Listen, as a person, he shows up, he's there, he's at every event, he's there for the kids, he's there for the homeless. I have no problem with him as a person. As a mayor, he is atrocious. We need real leadership, and we need to get our city back. And you're not going to have another chance at this The second we lose that waterfront and we lose all the ability that what we have going on right now. So vote for me.
Mr. Caesar.
Okay, my friend. So, this is, I've been involved for 30 years. I raised my kids here, but I always give back to my city. I was involved in different projects in the city that, like the senior center. I negotiate the senior center. Senior center is paying $1 a year because I was on that negotiation. By the way, for the past 5 years, the rent's not being paid. I put a question on the ballot what came to trash to finally resolve the problem. 10,000 votes, over 10,000 people on this city voted for us to do a transfer station. Back then it was going to cost us $13 million. By now the transfer station will be paid for. We will be getting a lot of revenue because we will be now selling the trash instead of paying for the trash, and we will be collecting trash around the city and making big revenue for the city. And again, they ignored the help that I was trying to give the city. He came to office. He put a task force together. Again, another group that told them and give him recommendations. Once again, he put all 3 months of work of that group on the trash, and he did what he wanted to do. Again, to favor the Friends. So, this is, for years I've been trying to help the city, to do my duty as a resident and a taxpayer, and this is it. My mother used to say, if you want a job well done, do it yourself. And this is my last chance to get it done and to fix all our problems. So on the 16th, September 16th, I really appreciate your vote so we can move forward positive and all together to get our city back.
Thank you. Mr. Coogan.
Good evening. I want to thank the Fall River Reporter for hosting this debate tonight. And a few weeks ago, all of us did an interview with FRG TV about running for mayor. But one thing about Mr. Amaral's interview stood out. If you listen to it, he said the city is failing. Nobody can tell me a single positive thing that's going on in the city, end quote. Well, let me tell you, there are many positive things going on in Fall River. Some of them are the number of concerts, feasts, and festivals. Our buildings are new for Durfee and Diamond. We're expanding our pre-K program. The redevelopment of the King Philip Mill and construction and renovation all over the city. Our building permits are going through the roof. The establishment of the overflow homeless shelter at the Tomeo Center. Park renovations, including pickleball, basketball, tennis, playground, splash pads, walking pads, and of course our new MBTA commuter train service. Northeastern University is opening a nursing program right in our city. The ongoing revitalization and development of Route 79, which we talked about tonight a lot, and the expansion of local and international companies into our industrial park. 25 road construction projects and 200 sidewalk repairs, and the growth of our stabilization fund is also important. So when my opponents say nothing positive is going on in the city or that Fall River is failing, I see it as extremely dishonest and disconnected from reality. It's insulting to me, my administration, and all of our hardworking public employees who put in tremendous efforts every day over the course of my 6 years to help improve our city. It's also insulting to each and every one of you who show up every day to make this community a better place to live. I want to thank you and the residents of Fall River for all your efforts. If given the opportunity to continue serving as mayor, I promise to continue to work with anyone whose focus is to improve our city. I respectfully ask for your vote and your support on September 16th, and thank you everybody for coming out tonight.
Okay, so that is the end of the debate. I'd like to thank all of the candidates for coming out. It takes a lot to run for office in Fall River. And I'd like to thank everyone in this room for coming here. You're the folks to have the energy to come out here. Hopefully it wasn't just for the free food. So everyone at home, share this video and make sure on September 16th you get out and vote. Thank you.